Hi, so welcome back to Real Auto Reports right here from Real Auto Ranch. This is a little different real first impression on this 2014 Subaru XV Crosstrek Hybrid. And the reason we're doing it a little different is that we looked at the XV Crosstrek in that lovely orange pearl metallic right when it came out the first time, and not a lot has changed from a body perspective or really even an interior perspective in that short amount of time. So what we're going to do for you is jump in and talk just about the hybrid and our first impressions on driving this different powertrain, and then well, you can click on to see the original real first impressions of the actual XV Crosstrek and see what we thought of the vehicle when it first came out. So let's jump in. All right, so the hybrid XV Crosstrek, that's what we have here from real first impressions perspective. And what I can tell you is from a steering and suspension perspective, you're not going to notice too much different. Yes, the hybrid carries a little bit more weight, so if anything, I think it may feel a little bit more stable on its feet than the standard XV Crosstrek, but nothing that you would necessarily key in on immediately. However, one of the things that is much better, and I guess I just really like this hybrid, is that you have a lot more torque right from the low end. And anyone who's watched my Subaru Impreza Sport and the XV Crosstrek videos, whether it is a manual or an automatic, you know that I personally just find these cars way too lackluster off the line. I find that they need more bottom end torque and they just don't get going real quick so that you can get across traffic or, you know, merge or whatever you need to do right from the start. Once they're going, they're lovely cars to drive, and the all-wheel drive system is perfect. So what you have here in the XV Crosstrek is a vehicle that makes its torque right at 2,000 RPM, and that's going to be over 160 foot-pounds of torque. In fact, it's going to be 163 foot-pounds of torque, which is up from the 145. Now, the other thing that you're getting out of this total system horsepower setup is 160 horsepower. So definitely more than the 140 and some you'll see in the regular XV. And, you know, what I'm basically saying is that, and this is what I thought would happen when we saw that we were going to get the hybrid, is that the hybrid has a more torque with the electric motors assisting right away from the start of your drive. Right from a stop, you have all of that electric motor torque, and it really does get you off the line quickly. And I like that much better in this vehicle than the manual even of the regular XV or the Impreza Sport. Remember, the XV Crosstrek really isn't that different a vehicle from the Impreza Sport. It is really a package that is its own vehicle with the 8.7 inches of ground clearance, and that is really for the rugged and off-road lifestyle. Now you'll see when we come to a stop here, one of the other interesting things about the hybrid is that you have the start-stop technology, so it is trying to save the fuel when you're at a stop, and it'll do this under 25 miles an hour, obviously. I mean, not under 25 miles an hour, but it will do this when you come to a stop. Now, it doesn't stay off for as long as some of the other cars we've tested, but under 25 miles an hour, the other thing that you'll get, what I was getting to, is that you will be able to drive in pure EV mode if you're, you know, diligent. You also have this lovely gauge cluster now addition into the trip computer that's up here. Now remember, this is also your rear backup camera, which I still think is a little bit of a nit for me. I find it hard to read that at night when I'm tired, so it's something that I wish when you have this bigger touchscreen here in the center stack that you'd be able to have the rear backup camera there. But all in all, you get this extra visual that shows you when the engine's working, when the hybrid system's working, and how much the battery is charged. And all of that is great in this vehicle because I don't know, there's something about this hybrid that just makes it more drivable to me from a first impressions perspective. So we're going to drive it a little more, but the last thing that I want to tell you is the fuel economy. So you'll see 29 miles per gallon in the city and 33 miles per gallon out on the highway. If you want to know more about what we think about the exterior, the interior, and the way it drives in general in the XV Crosstrek, check out our XV Crosstrek First Impressions, and it's the orange pearl metallic one on our YouTube channel. And you can also kind of then cross compare that with the Impreza Sports that we've looked at. We've looked at both the manual and the automatic, and surprisingly, like this one, the automatics seem to test better to us, from especially in the long-term review. The week that we spend with these cars, the automatics tend to leave the best lasting impression, which I'm a manual person. I love driving a manual, but sometimes the way these cars are engineered, it's just nicer to drive the automatic setups. So make sure you check that out. The final thing I'll leave you with is the price point on this vehicle, and that's going to be right just over an MSRP of $30,000. So good value for the type of flexibility and room in this vehicle. Remember, when you fold the rear seats down, you're going to have about 50.2 cubic feet of cargo area. It's a nice 4-door lift back, or a 5-door lift back model. So you have your 4 doors for everybody to get in, with the back lift gate so that you can get stuff in easily. So check it out. Subaru fans will know what this is all about, and as you can see right there, it really does get up and go. So thanks for joining us here at Real Auto Reports. I'm Jonathan McGrew, and this is the Real First Impressions on the 2014 Subaru XV Crosstrek.